I typically don't do anything political with my social media anymore. I don't touch it because in the past I've had issues with people just getting so dogmatic and so set on defending one side or the other. They don't listen to reason, and people began to excuse things when I was talking to them and responding. It's just that we're just absolutely insane. It's okay. It's like we got to stop, and you need to be reasonable. But I'm going to open up by telling you that there definitely seems to be. I'm no expert. I have not worked behind the scenes in government, so I can't tell you all of this stuff with experience. I just see what I'm seeing, and I avidly watch politics even though I don't post on it. But there seems to be people with money, power players, who are manipulating people like you and me on the ground level in order to create the movements and the news that they want. I'm going to give you two examples, one from the right and one from the left in the United States where I live, so that I don't want anyone to feel like I'm picking on one or the other, all right? J6, for instance, there were paid agitators in the crowd that were basically there in order to stoke people to be angry. They stoked people's frustration, got them to go to the Capitol, got them to challenge the barrier by pressing up against them. And then, of course, there's video of Capitol Police firing rubber bullets into the crowd, and then they get them to respond, and they rush the Capitol steps. And then you had like one or two instances where they break in, then there's everywhere else, they just let them in and they walk around and then they leave and all that, right? And a bunch of people ended up in prison. There were over 260 people that were actually held without actual charges. They were held solitary confinement. People that weren't even there, that they arrested them and they put them in jail for 20, 30 years. It's pretty bad stuff. And I'm seeing some of that again happening in LA right now, where you had protesters against ICE operations, and then you had paid agitators show up and they handed out masks and they handed out bricks. Then they all of a sudden the people take over for themselves and they start breaking up sidewalks to make bricks to throw at federal agents. And then you had situations like in St. Paul, Minnesota, where the people they saw federal agents and they assume an ICE raid and they get angry and they attack the federal agents, which you really shouldn't be doing to begin with. Well, they were there busting up a drug and human smuggling operation, and they saved 8 people, and they found 900 pounds of meth. All those people that attacked federal agents are now potentially accessories to those crimes. So I don't know which side you're on, and I don't care to talk to that. What I want to talk to is, if you're going to do anything, be super careful, because there are people out there that are pushing you to this side or that side, get you in a position where you become the fuel for their power movement. Because there are definitely people that are at work to move and change governments for their own purposes. That's been historical for all humanity, right? And it still happens. You're just the cannon fodder. So don't make yourself cannon fodder. Be smart, be intelligent, stand up for what's right, but don't do it in a way that puts yourself in a position where they get to use you for something like that. I don't want any of you out there who are watching me or see this to end up in prison, or to ruin your lives, or to lose your livelihood. Stand up for what you believe, but do it the right way. So just be aware that there's people playing that game. Don't be a part of it. Don't give in to that. Don't let their power struggle become the end of your life.